I don't feel like romance should be competitive. I feel like it should be authentic and honest.
How do you know that somebody is supposed to be in your life forever?
You
and
don't.
be a part of that group?
You don't. There are people that's not in my life now that I thought would be my forever people. Even though I may be the director, I still need everyone else to tell the story. I was eating my auntie mama's collard greens on the way. That's not me, that's my twin.
I can't believe that was your twin sister in the
Yeah,
video.
but it's okay, we're twins.
Yes.
Everyone thought it was me.
Every day, every night you stay on my mind. Every day, every night.
So Marley goes on another step in her romantic journey this season. I got to jump straight into it because she's coming in hot, trying to have this relationship, and she wants to run everything. And I want to know why you think people frame romance as a competition.
I think that that's out of insecurity and out of fear. You know what I mean? Thinking that the competitive part of romance is going to get someone to like you. You know what I mean? And, you know, I think it was more out of her insecurity than anything, to be honest. But I don't feel like romance should be competitive. I feel like it should be authentic and honest and vulnerable and embracing however a person is presenting themselves, because you get to just see their true self instead of us trying all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to have romance where you can just be and you don't have to feel like you have to do too much in order to get love. You know what I mean?
I know exactly.
And
what you mean.
like, and even when you think about like the Brooklyn steps, right? Have you gotten to that part yet?
I have gotten to that part, and
Right.
really, I definitely went on a date on those exact steps.
Really? Wasn't
So I
it
was looking
beautiful?
like, that's exactly what it feels like. You guys
Right?
nailed it.
But look at how special that moment was. Like, we're talking about just ordering something out, sitting on a step, eating out of plastic. But Marley was trying so hard to one up and all of that. But it was more beautiful, more special with the simplicity of the Brooklyn steps, the Brooklyn Museum steps. You know what I'm saying? Like, those kind of dates are like nice. I remember back in the day, I was dating a guy, and the first date he had taken me to was on a picnic. Like, had made sandwiches and had cheese and had wine and all of that. And it was really, really sweet. I miss that kind of romance.
Well, that came out of a moment of surrender, right?
Yes.
Because what she wanted didn't turn out right.
Right.
What's a moment in your life where you had to say yes to surrender and the botched plan turned out better than you thought it would?
Ooh, that's a good question, sis. I mean, I would probably say my career. You know, just surrendering to that. You know, sometimes we sit home and we wonder, why is it that we're not seen? Why am I not being hired? Why is it not happening for me yet? Instead of just surrendering to the timing of God. You know, I feel like, you know, sometimes those moments of not being seen are important. Like, it reminds me of, and I've talked about this before, the bamboo tree. You know, sometimes you gotta, you know, be sown in the ground and waiting in the soil so that you can develop and cultivate a strong root system, so that once you start growing, you can handle the growth and the blessing, you know. But just surrendering to what God has in my life, surrendering to the opportunities, or if it's just the time of silence, surrendering to that. So I would probably say that.
When it comes to your career, you only get a chance to develop a movie character for a certain amount of time. But on a TV show, you can go further on that development journey. How has that fulfilled you creatively?
Well, I feel like just using Marley as an example, the first season, Marley was uncertain. She was unsure. She was trying to figure out her life through therapy. And then season 2, she's more confident. She's more clear. You know, not that she wasn't that boss bitch in season 1, but I feel like she's more in her power in season 2. So you just evolve as the story evolves. And sometimes I don't even know if the writers know exactly what direction they're going to go in, you know what I'm saying? But you learn and grow as each season happens. You discover things about your character, you discover things about yourself, and you just continue to evolve.
You worked with your acting coach to make sure that this storyline worked out the way that you wanted it to. What was the most challenging part of that experience, stepping out of your comfort zone, playing a queer character?
I don't know if it was challenging, as far as challenging, as much as it was my excitement for having an amazing scene partner that is a beautiful queer woman, and just being able to collaborate with Jerry Johnson and understand things and learn things, and want to be honest about things and not try to be the trope of a queer woman, but just the authenticity of just black love that just so happens to be queer.
I love that your character engages and dips and dabbles like she did at Afropunk and gets to let her hair down. Why do you think it's important for us to see boss women relaxing and maybe having a little weed, having a little drink, having a good time?
Because it's really real life, sis. You know that. Most people in the boardroom are probably having a cocktail at the end of every day. That's probably why happy hour is in existence. You know what I'm saying? For the corporate world, honey, just to unwind and just to relax and just to chill out. And sometimes I feel like people think just because a person is in a certain place in their life, a position, that they don't indulge. And it's not true.
When it comes to your friendships on the show, why is it important for us to see black women not only helping each other as friends, but going into business together and being able to come out the other side stronger than ever?
Well, one, I just love the line where I may be like rephrasing it, but when Mavis says to her, I need a bank loan, and she's like, I am a bank loan. Excuse me. Sorry, I was eating my Auntie Mama's collard greens on the way. And I'm not even lying either. My Auntie Penwa made me too big. She always cooks for me, so she made me these collard greens and these butter beans and all this stuff. So when I was on my way here, I was like eating all fast trying to get here.
I love that though, because sometimes you're gonna press tour, you don't even get a chance to eat or drink.
I swear, and it's funny because when we were trying to figure out what we were gonna eat, some people wanted to order out, but myself and Bernicia, my makeup artist, were like, we doing Auntie Mama's collard greens. Like, I can't eat out when I got Auntie Mama's greens in the fridge, okay? So excuse the burp. That took away me being demure and cute. Say,
Listen.
Let me stop, girl. That's so funny.
Caring for yourself, loving yourself, there's nothing more demure than that.
Okay, girl. But wait, what were we talking about before I burped the
Black
greens?
Women working together in business and being able to lean on each other in that space.
Oh, exactly. First, it's good for us to support each other. Like I was talking, about how we're not in competition, we're in community, and it just shows the community and unity in us empowering each other to be our best selves. Even if I got to give you a little bit of cash to help you jumpstart your business, at the end of the day, it's about us building each other, empowering each other, loving each other, supporting each other, embracing each other for who we are, whether it's the good, the bad, or the ugly.
There's gatekeepers sometimes that prevent community, and I love that you rolled up to
I
that
can't.
man and you told him, you're going to come outside with me.
I can't.
What did you think about that scene?
Listen, I cannot. Sometimes we got to take charge. But the gatekeepers, but I guess that's their job. Okay, but I enjoyed telling him to get his ass up, okay?
That made me die laughing. So in the business of television, there's been a lot of changes this year, and a lot of people have concerns. How are you keeping your faith about moving forward at a time when there's a lot of consolidation and concern about the state of the industry?
There's a time and season, I feel like, for everything under the sun, honestly. And at the end of the day, I feel like I have to trust God, who's the author and finisher of my faith.
Amen.
That my life was predestined before the foundations of the world. I came on this earth with a purpose, and I just got to stay focused on that. And I can't get caught up with what the state of the world, because I just got to trust that God's going to provide. Period.
What have you loved seeing over the past 10 years change in the industry as Black women kick down doors and create opportunities for other Black women?
I just love seeing our stories being told, like Michelle getting the opportunity to tell her story, the women that we all worked with to direct these stories, our voices being more prominent, getting more opportunity to, be more present in a world that was very male dominated. But now I feel like we have a little more balance.
What are you watching? What are you reading when you're not working, when you get a free moment?
I'm a very motivational self-help type person. I love a lot of leadership books, and John C. Maxwell is an author that I really like. I mean, he has a lot of great books on leadership, and so I've been reading a lot of those books. I love watching shows I love Mayor of Kingstown. I'm a Taylor Sheridan fan. I think he is kicking butt. I love Survival of the Thickest. Okay. I mean, seriously, I love Harlem. I mean, there are so many great shows out there to watch. Paradise is something else that's out that everyone loves. It's just a lot of good stuff out there. I mean, it's so much stuff on TV. I got to also sit down.
What you want to see more of?
Oh, like as far as the type of shows?
As far as the type of shows, but as far as the type of characters, what different characters do you want to see on screen that you haven't had a chance to bring to life?
I think I'd love to see more, Black female superheroes. I don't think we see enough of that.
When it comes to directing, how are you communicating with your actors on set? What's your approach to making sure you get the best performance possible?
Well, one is privacy and protection. You know what I mean? Like not yelling things out loud, being very protective of their space. And I whisper in the ear a lot. I don't really yell things out across the room because I feel like it's not everyone's business. You know what I mean? What's being said or how the actor is being directed. And I feel like honestly teaching acting helped me a lot, like helped cultivate my instrument as a director. It helped me to be able to learn how to communicate with actors and creating like a fun, sorry, these collard greens. I feel so black. Oh my God. And I am so black. But I just feel like creating a very family environment. You know what I mean? It's very important to me to be a good leader, to make everyone feel like their voice is heard and that it's a collaborative effort across the board, because even though I may be the director, I still need everyone else to tell the story. It's not a one-man show. So that's something that I love.
Starred in and produced a movie in the Lifetime Temptation series.
I sure did.
What made you want to come on board that project as a producer?
Well, my friend Derek Williams and Adrian Williams, who basically called me up and ended up presenting the script to me, and I was just excited to do it. I loved it. I asked if I could produce it with them, and they said yes. And I was able to bring on Adrian Holmes, who was my dear friend who I met on Bel Air because I directed 2 episodes of Bel Air, and that was a blessing. And I loved the script. I thought I had never played a character like that, so I wanted to explore something I had never done before.
I was going to say, your character like that is a boss, but she ends up in a tough situation when it comes to her marriage.
Yes.
Why do you think it's important for us to show that there are many different types of survivors and not just the standard person who might not have the money to get away from their abuser?
Yeah, I just think that, abuse is real. There are a lot of con artists out there in the world. And I think it's an interesting story just for women that may have, been victimized by people like that, manipulation, con artists, I feel like they know they're not alone, that there are a lot of stories like that in the world. And I feel like it's good for us to tell those stories.
What excites you about joining that series? Do you think you might tell another story? Where would you want to see that go?
I almost, I don't know. That's an interesting question. Maybe it should be flipped around. Maybe the woman's a con artist the next time.
Maybe. I
I
mean,
don't know.
we're good at it. Women could lie like nobody's
You know, we
business,
don't
'cause
ever
we think
see.
a lot. We're big thinkers.
Right. We never saw the one. I don't really know any women that may have done that. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I haven't, but it could be an interesting flip.
To go back to survival of the thickest, how exciting do you think it could be for Marley to give somebody else control and to like let loose when you work so hard all day every day and be able to like lose yourself in somebody else?
Honestly, that's the part of Marley that I really relate to, like surrendering and allowing herself to just sit back and allow someone else to take care of her instead of her always feeling like she has to take care of everybody else and everything else.
Where would you want to see her go in season 3?
I'd like for her to be in a throuple, maybe having a boyfriend and a girlfriend.
See, that takes me back to when she first discovered her.
Yeah,
Yes, that would be a
but
super
like,
full
you
circle
know, I don't
moment.
know, like she's like, you know, going back again to the guy. Now she's going back again to the girl. You know, that's real life stuff.
What are you doing to emotionally prepare to take the character into season 3? What are you thinking about her headspace?
I don't know yet because I have no idea where the character will go. Like you said,
Wow.
season 2 or season 3?
Season 3.
Oh, I don't know. Like Michelle and the other writers would have more information than me, but a lot of times we don't know what's happening. We
Well,
get
that
the
must be a
script.
different form of surrender too, right? Because you
Yeah.
have to surrender to other people's artwork.
Yeah, you sure do.
So what else are
And-
you working on or thinking about working on in the future after these 2 projects?
Well, I have a few good things up my sleeve.
Anything you can tell
My
me?
first feature, but I can't really talk about that. My production company, Camden Bridge. I'm excited about all the things I'm developing and writing and all of that stuff. I'm very excited about that.
I know you can't tell me specifics, but what are you doing to make sure that as you're building your production company, you are on mission? How did you form the mission for what you wanted it to do?
It just comes out of what I believe I am as a storyteller, bold and cutting edge, and you know, human stories. I'm just excited about us, about things that'll make us think, feel, and laugh.
Are you thinking about short form video too? Like the power of being able to put things out in snippets or maybe smaller projects as opposed to TV and movies?
I haven't thought about that.
So many people are doing that with their production companies.
Yeah,
About that.
I haven't thought about that,
I
but
think
thank
would
you
be
for
great
that.
about that because you always have an amazing soundbite.
Oh, thank
and
you.
words of wisdom. Where do you get your wisdom from in your personal life outside of the books and everything? Is it your aunt that makes you the collard greens? Who's speaking life into you?
It's my auntie, it's my mother, it's my girlfriends, it's my therapist, it's my prayer time, it's, you know, all of those things. But I have a lot of solid people around me. I have honest people around me. I have people that hold me accountable and that speak a lot of wisdom to me. And I'm very grateful for that. And that is why it's important for me to represent myself a certain way. And I always want to make the people that love me, that poured into me, that have sown into me, proud.
How do you know that somebody is supposed to be in your life forever?
You
And
don't.
be a part of that group.
You don't.
You just figure it out as you,
You
go.
don't. You
Wow.
go as there are people that's not in my life now that I thought would be my forever people.
There's a video of you from many years ago at a wedding where you talk about being a black Barbie, and you talk about
That's
yourself.
not me. That's my twin.
That's your
That's
twin?
Sidra.
I'm so sorry.
Isn't that crazy?
It looks.
That's
I-
Sidra and
obviously.
Jada. But I know people, everyone has sent me that clip
And
thinking
tagged
it's
you
me.
in it, and I like it's one of
I'm
my
like,
favorite
that's
videos on the
Sidra.
internet.
That's my gorgeous Barbie sister.
Does your sister speak life into you on a regular basis?
Absolutely.
And get to hold you accountable because nobody's gonna
Absolutely.
tell you stuff like your sister
Yup,
will.
sure will.
What about your skincare routine? How do you stay so beautiful?
Ooh, Skin by Mamie. Do you know Mamie?
No.
Okay, well, Mamie is my esthetician, and she has been for many years. She's right in Jersey, Skin by Mamie. Go there every time I come home. I just love seeing her.
Do you have a plain skincare routine or anything to make sure that planes don't wreck your skin?
I mean, honestly, I really do use Skin by Mamie.
So is it a serum?
It's
Is it a
it's
moisturizer?
everything. It's like the whole thing. Like it's the face wash, the serum, the moisturizer. There's some hydration cream. There's some oxygen drops. So it's all. I use like several products. Like I'm a toiletry fanatic.
Is there one in particular that you like for travel? Because you do have to travel so much.
I would say it's the hydration cream. It's the oxygen plasma drops. And I would say her nighttime cream that I would wear on the flight because it gives your skin extra moisture. But that would be my routine for like dryness and nighttime and travel. Like if I'm about to travel, I hydrate more because sometimes the plane ride will dehydrate your skin. And water and wine.
So you can have some joy in your life. That's important. So we gotta have balance. You came in here today and you show so much love to the people that you're working with, and just make sure that everybody acknowledged them and had a kind word for them. Why is that so important to you, that everybody around you and you're working with feel good?
Because we are in this together. Like I'm not doing this by myself. I would never have been able to do it by myself. I can't do my hair, my makeup, pick out my clothes, travel with all my clothes, do all of these things. Like if I didn't have my assistant Gabby, Bernicia, my makeup artist, Monique, my hairstylist, Charlie, my stylist, like I am not a one-man show. It takes all of us together to collaborate. And I feel like they're my family. Like, you know what I'm saying? So why not give them some love? I love celebrating the people around me because they're the ones that help me be great. Ernest, my publicist. I mean, I could not do this by myself.
Well, I thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you, sis.
And I love that about you.
And
you just came in here with the best energy.
Thank you. And you are wonderful at what you do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for all of your wonderful questions.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it.
Thank you, sis.
Good luck.
All
with
righty,
everything.
Mom. Thank you, sis.
Thank you.
Thank you.